All right, action. Restart what the fuck you just said.
To talk about, like,
Autistic cameraman, ADHD.
Dancing with no music.
dance and no music. Now, what I really wanted to talk about was what it looks like to heal as a young man, like especially us being in college or just being like young designers, being in relationships, being out of relationships, or just in different environments. What does it look like to heal and kind of embrace yourself as a young man? We got three different perspectives because you got me, you, and Dom. So that's kind of what I really wanted to talk about for the video, though.
So what you gotta say about relationships, Matt?
Relationships, like, what does it look like to heal, or just like my idea of relationships?
Both experience, your ideals.
I ain't gonna lie. I would say I got a lot of experience with relationships.
Oh,
A lot. What you think? I'll say I have a lot.
what kind of experience?
With the bad kind. I ain't gonna lie. Nah, I would say like my ideal of it, I think realistically, the things I went in, like, all right, so I was in a relationship in high school, right? Which it wasn't that bad. Like when I was in it toward the end, it was like, you know, it is what it was. But I feel like I kind of learned later on my relationship that I had with people in my life affected my relationship, like romantically. You know what I'm saying? Like your relationship with your parents can affect how you act with your partner.
Different family traumas and everything like that.
So that's my idea on it. But I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like. Hold on, get what he talking about?
No, I'm not gonna get that. I got a full built camera. You just gotta
You think I'm gonna get that?
Bro, don't want to zoom in on a bad bitch.
No, I'm not gonna do that, bro. What
I
you
am.
think this is?
I'll take the blame. It's my camera.
I am a man.
It's my camera. She a black woman, beautiful one too.
What are we talking about, bro? Exactly.
Hey, I mean, like, back to what he's talking about, I feel like, yeah, certain relationships can affect that. I feel like for me, I think I was in a healthy relationship, like, while it was. But after that, because I didn't take the proper time to, like, heal, I kept getting into, like, bad. We didn't even really commit to, like, a relationship, but, like, I had bad talking stages because I didn't take the time necessary for myself.
I mean, healing the most important part for real, bro. Just like if you don't heal, you just putting your bad pressures onto somebody else.
Right.
Ultimately, that shit gonna fuck up their mental same way it messed up yours. So and never in this cycle, bro.
No, it is, though, like, I did it
That
twice.
bitch. Y'all see him, chat? That nigga hungry as hell.
Hey, bro, ain't nothing wrong with eating, cuz.
Look at that nigga meal, bro. Yeah, nigga meal. Chicken noodle, no veggie.
Look, Mall Chinese food is the best.
Chicken
This
noodle,
nigga
no
got a
veggie, bro.
singular carrot in his shit. Look at that.
Gotta stay healthy, you know what I'm saying? But no, like, I ain't gonna lie, I did it twice. Realistically, like,
You did what
after,
twice?
like, bad talking stages, twice.
Oh.
Three times.
Oh,
Right, I was low-key asking, what is it?
Man, what is
You know
it?
what I'm saying? Like,
No, like, bad talking stages, like.
okay.
Like, I thought I was ready, but I wasn't ready, basically.
How you feel like that affected the people around you, or those people that you was dealing with?
Like, the girls, or, like,
Yeah.
it messed them up. Like, cause I ain't gonna lie, and it wasn't intentional. Like, I wasn't like, yeah, I'm about to go into this and I'm about to break her heart. Like, it wasn't intentional. I didn't intentionally go into that. Like, I think in a way I kind of like lied to myself because I was like, yeah, I'm ready, but I knew I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It was different. I knew I wasn't, but I lied to myself. And it wasn't intentional. I wasn't intentionally trying to do that time.
How do you, as a man, take ownership for those incidents?
Huh?
How do you, as a man, take ownership for what you did and the consequences?
It's not my fault. They shouldn't have failed for it.
This
It's
nigga.
like, nah, I think it's on me. Like, it's 100% on me, bro. It ain't their fault. I would say I did kind of let them know, like, which it don't make it better, but I did take accountability in the beginning. Like, I let them know, like, yo, I don't know if I'm fully into it. Like, this is where I'm at. And I did get them a warning type shit, you know what I'm saying, bro? So it wasn't fully on me, but at the same time it was, because if I already knew I was gonna feel sideways, I shouldn't even have did it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro. I mean, how you feel like relationships in your life, like how you feel like it impact kind of where you are today?
I mean, I just know like for me, when it comes to like family traumas and things like that, it's more so I take on the role of I just want to do whatever my parents didn't do, like in both the good and the bad ways. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like my parents like nurturing towards their kids, but as a relationship, I mean, they broke up when I was 3, so like they never nurtured, they didn't really nurture each other the way they should have. So I see it on both sides. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of narcissism on both sides, things like that. And then, you know, talking to you, we was talking about different like traumas that either one of us have and how we can like benefit in the future, taking advice and shit like that. Like, you know, yo ass trying to call me a narcissist and shit. Clock it, bitch ass.
Yeah, what was
But
that
nah.
about, huh?
Nah, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
Hold on.
We ain't gonna do that. But you know what I mean? Like I feel like I feel like in general though, it's like, you know, we all carry different traits from our parents, you know what I mean? I feel like on both sides with mine, like, you know, love you, mom and dad. But you know what I'm saying, at the same time, like me and my sister analyze things, and be like, dang, like we was just looking up traits of narcissism. We like, that's definitely 2 things that both of our parents got. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom and my dad both have. So I try to like stem away from that as best as I can and just always be better. Like that's what your parents want you to be anyways. Like when you're an adult and you become a parent, you always want your kids to learn and do better than what they did before. So I try to carry that on to my relationships, like just be more loving, be more nurturing. Go into it with the open mind of like you just said, being intentional with like your thoughts, your intentions, everything like that.
When did you, at what age were you when you realized you didn't want to carry certain traits from them? And like, what did you do to stay aware of that, basically?
I feel like I really started at a young age, for real. Like I say around really like middle school times. Like it was a lot going on at that time. Like we just like both of my parents. My dad was like going through surgeries, like different stuff like that. And like the way like my mom like trying to like support him through that time, mind you, like they not together neither. So like we're trying to support him, and like the way he would like treat her at the time, it was just like weird to me, like hella weird. It was just like for somebody that's like in the predicament that you in, somebody trying to help you, why would you like try it? Like why would you do stuff that like turn them away? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially like with me there, it's like we both trying to support him at the same time. And he was kind of just like, you know, I get it, like everybody go through their own thing, and sometimes it's hard for people to actually tell you like how they feeling emotionally, but he just wasn't able to do that at all. So like for me, if like it was hurting me, and it also hurt her because she was already hurt from just their relationship in general. Like, you know what I'm saying, the 16 years I had been alive, you know what I'm saying, she already been hurt from him. So like that was like the most hurtful part for her. So she was like, hey, I'm just not even fuck with your dad no more. Like he's out, he needs some help and stuff like that. I'm just not even trying to help him more. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, we had a conversation before, me and you were saying like sometimes I close off opportunities and like don't keep doors open. And that was like a reminder of that when you said that to me. So, you know, I try to navigate in a way that I keep things open regardless of like how my emotions are feeling, or regardless of like if I want to partake in that thing, things like that. I try to keep it open as long as the people that's around me actually being supportive, or therefore like, you know, being respectful towards me. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit would happen with the Russell and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's a whole different topic. We ain't even, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even know about that. We talking something different. But
Right.
like,
Well,
shit that,
I'll
like,
explain that later.
like shit that happened with that, bro. It was like all that stuff would have went down so much differently if it was just respectful, bro. If they was respectful towards me, none of that different stuff, all that things that happened with that, way back happened. I just try to keep that going on with every type of relationship I'm in, regardless if it's a friendship, if I'm in a romantic relationship, whether it's platonic, my family, things like that. I just always try to keep it better as an open mind, as long as it's respect and love involved. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's not respectful and it's also not loving, I just try to keep a distance from it. I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that energy in general. So that's how I feel about it.
Do you feel like majority of the hurt that young man face today is from like romantic relationships or like the hurt that their parents caused them?
Mm, nah, I feel like it all start with the family, bro. You see what your family is your first relationship that you have. You know what I'm saying? It's they're not even on no weird stuff, but romance don't mean like sexual. You know what I'm saying? So your first thing you have is a that relationship with your family, and that's automatically romantic just based off the way that y'all spend time with each other. You know what I'm saying? Your family life is always gonna be like that first type of intimate relationship that you
Yeah, 'cause
have.
it's like that unconditional love type
Exactly.
thing.
That's the first intimate relationship that you have is with your family, your siblings, your friendships, things like that. So it always gonna start off at a younger age, and then it's always gonna progress the longer that you in that as you grow older. So if you kind of got like a bad environment around you in terms of that, once you get into actual relationships with people, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, like with a spouse, woman, you know what I mean? Um, male, female, whatever that case is, it's gonna progress off what you already experienced. So if you're in a bad experience as a youngin, eventually you gotta try to build out and grow out of that because it's gonna affect the people around you. And you're gonna start questioning yourself like, oh, why is this stuff going on? Why I can't be happy? Why I can't be loved? It's because you truthfully don't understand how to love yourself in a healthy way based on those relationships that you already had in your past. So
Right. I was talking to my
feel
mom
that.
the other day, and we had a conversation. Like sometimes with the older generation, it's a little harder for them to hear like our perspectives, like growing up with them. Like I said, I love my mom. Shout out my mom, but like it definitely was hard. Like I said, just speaking onto the relationship piece, like with my mom, like she definitely was a provider. Like she always was there when it came to like we needing anything, she's there. Like, but when it came to like emotional wise, she was there, but she wasn't there. Like
Right.
like as far as like us making sure we got to school on time, we got anything we needed, clothes, whatever. She took care of that, but like the emotional connection kind of wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like growing up, I kind of always wanted to talk to my mom about different things that was going on with school, my life, relationship wise, whatever. But the emotional connection just wasn't there.
Yeah.
So
I feel that's like a common trope between just like black families in general. Like it's so much trauma, and then like regardless of like what happened in the past, we still don't fully know how to navigate through that. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
like and then the emotional piece of being in a relationship, like to me, that's why I had a conversation with my mom, told her like, but that kind of messed me up, like because of that, I chased the wrong girls. I chased the girls that I wasn't having an emotional connection with, and I didn't know
Right.
how to have that because I never had.
That's all you knew. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's kind of like now it's like I realize that it's like dang, I got to do better. But yeah, I mean, like you said, that kind of happened. Even like in a young man's life, like I feel like that's kind of the story of a lot of young men, even if they don't realize it. But so
Hey.
yeah, it do stem from that. Like it stem from the family, like really.
Yeah, family dichotomy, bro. That's where it all stand from. But hey, I say we really gotta get a little word from Royce though. We gotta get a
Yeah.
little.
For me, I didn't realize that the way I operated wasn't within the same frequency of emotional intelligence and awareness. Like I wasn't operating on the same frequency until I got in a relationship. Because when you get into a relationship and you operating with another person, you realize how many of your habits or your tendencies have been learned or reflected through your life with your parents. So one thing about me is I didn't know that I was a huge mansplainer because I grew up around a father who mansplained a lot. I just thought that was normal until I started interacting with people and I realized, hey, you know what I'm saying? This isn't normal in terms of when you're having a conversation with someone. You know what I'm saying? They know things too. Like they know things too. They're not
Like ignorant to it, or
exactly
oblivious to
like
what you said. Yeah,
I didn't want to say ignorance, but like I feel like a lot of the time as a man, you're constantly trying to prove your worth to the world that you take that form in other ways. And so for me, as somebody who's been a teacher since I was 14 years old, one of the ways that I interact with the world is through teaching people things. But within our generation, a lot of the time, there are a lot of people who have had to take care of themselves due to them growing up in different households. And so me having a love language of teaching when I'm dating women who have grown up within the world doing shit for themselves and not really wanting nobody to be, talked down to them or like really try and like teach them stuff that they already know and have no tolerance for, mistreatment by men, I've had to learn that a lot of my habits don't coincide with a lot of the agendas that women have nowadays. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a bad thing. That's just after I had a relationship, I realized that the way that I operate doesn't match up with the way that the women of today's generation operate. Right. Simply because I was taking things from my own relationship with my parents and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's both. Like, you realize after your first relationship how much of your relationship with your parents may or may be beneficial towards your efforts in the romance realm. You know what I'm saying? Like, your parents molded you as a child and then they sent you out into the world and now you getting critiques. Just like an artist would sculpt their sculpture and then send it out to the art world. Now you getting critiques on the people who sculpted you. So you got to go back and re-sculpt yourself to fit the demographic because your parents, unbeknownst to them or beknownst to them, didn't raise you in the best way for this generation because they don't know how this next generation would operate. And that's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not their fault for doing that. They're human too. They had to learn and the world evolved around them and changed around them too. But at the same time, you can't let how they molded you, like, you can't let that be your finished look. Because if that's your finished look, then we repeat in history. You know what I'm saying? But you're not going to learn until you go through the world and experience that. Right. But yeah.
Real shit.
That kind of like goes into like the next segment. Like, what do y'all feel is, I don't even know if they can hear me. I don't got the mic. But
it's picking up.
What do y'all feel is like the step to healing and growth as a young man when you go through like heartbreak, when you realize you got to remold yourself? What do you feel like is the appropriate step to take just as somebody like being who we are, you know what I'm saying, and our world, navigating, coming from where we come from?
I think, and this is just something that helped me, the first thing that you got to do if you going on a journey of healing is you got to realize that some shit was your fault, bro. Like, for real, like, take accountability for the things that were your fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that that's the issue with a lot of people nowadays, is that it's really, really hard for people nowadays, whether it be our generation or older generations, it's hard for people to admit when they're at fault. That's the ego. That's an issue with ego in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for people to admit when they at fault. So I think that the first thing that people got to realize when they go on a healing journey is that there were some things that were your fault. Now, those things that were your fault could have been from a place of ignorance or simply not knowing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you didn't know that a certain situation would impact your partner or somebody that you cared about in a specific way, it's still your fault and you still need to take accountability for that, but ease up on yourself because you genuinely didn't know. Don't be lying to yourself and saying that you didn't know when you actually did, because you know what that's doing? That's perpetuating hate within the world, and we don't want to see that, and it makes it harder for victims to actually get hurt. Anyways, continuing on. When it comes to, again, being better with yourself, take accountability for the things that you knew were your fault, and then for things that you know were other people's fault, don't look to them for accountability. Simply see what you can learn. There are not going to be a lot of people who are going to take accountability for their actions. They simply won't. There are going to be people who won't take accountability for what they did to you. They simply won't. But what you need to do is you need to take, okay, how can I take this negative thing that has impacted me and flip it so that I can learn from it instead? And if you genuinely cannot find in a scenario where you learn from something, if you can't find anything to learn within that scenario, then you're looking at it wrong. Point blank, period. Now, if you were purely a victim of something that happened to you, that is completely your fault. I mean, not your fault. That is completely and totally not your fault. But yeah, I think that the first step of healing is really just realizing that, like, some things are your fault. And for the things that weren't your fault, you can't expect accountability from people. But what you can do is try and learn from those things. And the more things you try and learn from, the more things you will see are able to be learned from, and therefore the more knowledge you gain. And as you go throughout life and you continue to gain knowledge, that in of itself is a healing journey upon all of the things that have happened to you while you were ignorant to all of the ways that you could have been hurt, if that makes sense. Like as you go through life and you continue to gain knowledge, you gain education on all of the ways in which you can prevent yourself from getting hurt in multiple scenarios, whether that be business, romantic, or just pure platonic with friends and family. You know what I'm saying? Really, the key is just like knowledge and keeping going through the world.
Hey man, my boy Roy said the key is the knowledge.
Yes,
Say it
sir.
again, say it again, say it again.
The key is the knowledge, y'all.
What you say, Matt? What you say, Matt?
The key is the knowledge. Damn near can't hear me though, no mic, but
Nah,
you
can hear
can
you.
talk about yours.
I ain't got nothing to say, bro. It's a closed case. It's 8 o'clock. The mall closing. We're gonna
Right,
pick this up
though.
somewhere else. No hat, no hat.
What's next? What can we look forward to from Matt 5 years from now?
What's next is the world.